Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Bill Chan.
I'm Nimacum.
I'm Van Chan.
In this class, I'll read all of you a part of Ulysses,
Bess,
L.
Ulysses, James Joyce, Chap, 17 Sec 3. In 1936, when Bloom would be 70 and Stephen 54, their ages initially in the ratio of 16:0 would be a 17:13. The proportion increasing and the disparity diminishing according as arbitrary future years were added. For if the proportion existing in 1883 had continued immutable, conceiving that to be possible, till then 1904 when Stephen was 22, Bloom would be 374, and in 1921 Stephen would be 38. As Bloom then was, Bloom would be 646, while in 1952 when Stephen would have attained the maximum postdiluvian age of 70, Bloom, being 1190 years alive, having been born in the year 714, would have surpassed by 221 years the maximum antediluvian age, that of Methuselah, 969 years, while if Stephen would continue to live until he would attain that age in the year 3072 AD, Bloom would have been obliged to have been alive 83, 300 years, having been obliged to have been born in the year 81, 396 BC. What events might nullify these calculations? The cessation of existence of both or either, the inauguration of a new year or calendar, the annihilation of the world and consequent extermination of the human species, inevitable but unpredictable. How many previous encounters proved their pre-existing acquaintance? 2. The first in the Lalace garden of Matthew Dillon's house, Midden Villa, Kimidgerot, Roundtown, in 1887, in the company of Stephen's mother, Stephen being then of the age of 5 and reluctant to give his hand in salutation. The second in the coffee room of Breslin's Hotel on a rainy Sunday in the January of 1892, in the company of Stephen's father and Stephen's granduncle, Stephen being then 5 years older. Did Bloom accept the invitation to dinner given them by the son and afterwards seconded by the father? Very gratefully, with grateful appreciation, with sincere appreciative gratitude, in appreciatively grateful sincerity of regret, he declined. Did their conversation on the subject of these reminiscences reveal a third connecting link between the Mrs. Riordan Dante, a widow of independent means, had resided in the house of Stephen's parents from 1 September 1888 to 29 December 1891, and had also resided during the years 1892, 1893 and 1894 in the City Arms Hotel owned by Elizabeth O'Dowd of 54 Pressure Street, where during parts of the years 1893 and 1894 she had been a constant informant of Bloom, who resided also in the same hotel, being at that time a clerk in the employment of Joseph Gough of 5 Smithfield, for the superintendence of sales in the adjacent Dublin Kettle Market on the North Circular Road. Had he performed any special corporal work of mercy for her? He had sometimes propelled her on warm summer evenings. An infirm widow of independent, if limited, means. In her convalescent bath chair with slow revolutions of its wheels as far as the corner of the North Circular Road opposite Mr. Govinglow's place of business, where she had remained for a certain time, scanning through his own binocular field glasses and recognisable citizens on tramcars, Oyster bicycles equipped with inflated pneumatic tyres, hackney carriages, tandems, private and hired lantas, talk carts, pillar traps and brakes passing from the city to the Phoenix Park and vice versa. Why could he then support that his vigil with the greater equanimity? Because in middle youth he had often sat observing through a rondel of boscos of a multicolored pane the spectacle offered with continual changes of the thoroughfare without, pedestrians, quadrupeds, velocipeds, vehicles, passing slowly, quickly, evenly, and round the rim of a round and round precipitous globe. What distinct different memories had each of her now 8 years deceased? The older, her busy cards and canters, her sky terrier, her supposititious wath, her lapses of responsiveness and incipient casualtiveness, the younger, her lamp of cause oil before the statue of the Immaculate Conception, her green and maroon brushes for Charles Stuart Parnell and for Michael Davitt, her tissue papers. Were there no means still remaining to him to achieve the rejuvenation which these reminiscences, divulged to a younger companion, rendered the more desirable? The indoor exercises, formerly intermittently practiced, subsequently abandoned, prescribed in Nugent Sando's Physical Strength and How to Obtain It, which, designed particularly for commercial men engaged in sedentary occupations, were to be made with mental concentration in front of a mirror so as to bring into play the various families of muscles and produce successively a pleasant rigidity, a more pleasant relaxation, and the most pleasant repristination of juvenile agility. Had any special agility been his in earlier youth? The ring weight lifting had been beyond his strength and the full circle gyration beyond his courage, yet as a high school scholar he had excelled in his stable and protracted execution of the half-liver movement on the parallel bars in consequence of his abnormally developed abdominal muscles. Did either openly allude to their racial difference? Neither. What? Reduced to their simplest reciprocal form were Bloom's thoughts about Stephen's thoughts about Bloom, and about Stephen's thoughts about Bloom's thoughts about Stephen? He thought that he was a Jew, whereas he knew that he was not. What? The enclosures of reticence removed, with their respective parentages. The only born male transubstantial heir of Rudolf Erg, subsequently Rudolf Bloom of Shumbatali, then Budapest, Milan, London and Dublin, and of Ellen Higgins, second daughter of Julius Higgins born Carolee and Fanny Higgins born Hegarty. Stephen, eldest surviving male consubstantial heir Simon Dedalus of Cork and Dublin, and of Mary, daughter of Richard and Christina Gooding born Grier. Had Bloom and Stephen been Baptist? And where and by whom? Cleric or layman? Bloom 3 times. By the Reverend was Tacoma Johnston him. Blown. In the Protestant Church of St. Nicholas without. Gin. By James O'Connor. Philip Gilligan and James Fitzpatrick. Together. Under a pump in the village of Swords. And by the Reverend Charles Malone C. 2. In the Church of the Three Patrons. Afgar. Stephen once by the Reverend Charles Malone C. 2. Blown. In the Church of the Three Patrons. Afgar. Did they find their educational careers similar? Substituting Stephen for Bloom's Jim would have passed successively through a dame's school and the high school. Substituting Bloom for Stephen Bluffin would have passed successively through the preparatory, junior, middle and senior grades of the intermediate and through the matriculation, first arts, second arts and arts degree courses of the Royal University. Why did Bloom refrain from stating that he had frequented the University of Life? Because of his fluctuating incertitude as to whether this observation had or had not been already made by him to Stephen or by Stephen to him. What two temperaments did they individually represent? The scientific, the artistic. What proofs did Bloom adduce to prove that his tendency was towards applied, rather than towards pure science? Certain possible inventions of which he had cogitated when reclining in a state of supine or pleasant day digestion, stimulated by his appreciation of the importance of inventions now common but once revolutionary. For example, the aeronautic parachute, the reflecting telescope, the spiral corkscrew, the safety pin, the mineral water siphon, the canal lock with vention sluice, the suction pump. Were these inventions principally intended for an improved scheme of kindergarten? S. Rendering obsolete popkins, elastic air bladders, games of hazard, catapults. They comprised astronomical kaleidoscopes exhibiting the 12 constellations of the zodiac from Aries to Pisces, miniature mechanical orreries, arithmetical gelatine lozenges, geometrical to correspond with zoological biscuits, blow-up playing balls, historically costumed dolls. What also stimulated him in his cogitations? The financial success achieved by Ephraim Marx and Charles James, the former by his bazaar at 42 Judges Street, the latter at his sixth shop and Moles Fancy Fair and Waxwork Exhibition at 30 Henry Street. Admission, children and the infinite possibilities hitherto unexploited of the modern art of advertisement if condensed in triliteral monoidal symbols, vertically of maximum visibility divined, horizontally of maximum legibility deciphered and of magnetizing efficacy to arrest involuntary attention, to interest, to convince, to decide, such as K 11 Kinostratus. House of Keys. Alexander J. Peace. Such as not? Look at this song, Connell. Calculate when it burns out and you receive gratis 1 pair of our special non-compo. Leads. Guaranteed 1 Kindle power. Address Barclay and Cook. 18 Talbot Street. Acid and insect powder. Verbs boot blocking. You want it combined pocket toe blade pink knife with corkscrew. Nail file and pipe cleaner. Such as nowhere. What is home without Plumtree's potted meat? Incomplete. With it an abode of bliss. Manufactured by George Plumtree. 23 Merchants Quay, Dublin. Put up in 4-ounce pots. And inserted by Councillor Joseph P. Vanity. L. B. Wattendo Ward. 19 Hardwick Street. Under the obituary notices and anniversaries of deceases. The name on the label is Plumtree. A plum tree in a meat pot. Registered trademark. Beware of imitations. Piedmont. To be continued.